Hello and welcome back to Coach Plays Frostpunk 2, and it's episode 2. And I think we're going to start today. As you can see right now, we are exactly where we left off at the end of episode 1. But obviously, in the kind of opportunity I've had to go back and watch episode 1 back through myself, there are some mistakes to correct first in terms of how we've set our zones up and some bits and pieces which we'll walk through on that. And of course, I think main priorities for episode 2 are the same as really, as I said, as discussed at the end of episode 1, which is to finally resolve the housing crisis without people freezing to death. That'd be nice. And logistics station. So we need to get out and explore the Frostland. That is 100% what we must do. Now, we're actually good. Heat stamps were a bit of an issue for us. Basically the whole of episode 1. We're actually 194, so we're okay, and prefabs 890, we're okay as well. So really we need to be getting ourselves out there now and doing stuff, because we are not that far away from another temperature drop. So yeah, as I said, we need to prepare for that. But mistakes, so we're paused at the moment, so let's just go back and have a look at our districts over here, our housing districts that we set up. So as you can see here, this is the high-rise housing district, and it has our research institute, and we still have an empty building slot if we want to put something else in. Now, area effects. This is what we needed to pay a little bit more attention to than we actually did. So, area effects. So basically, we are affecting other districts near this housing district with plus 20 heat demand. That's because we, as I discussed before, we built these two adjacent to one another. But what we're also getting in here, we can have a look at is, so we're getting that plus 20 heat from near housing, and we're also getting plus 20 from geothermal, because we built this, if you remember, on this geothermal spring here. So basically, the total demand of heat for this zone is 0. Because so basically it requires 60, but because of the modifiers, so we've got plus 20 from geothermal, plus 20 from housing insulation, which we researched, and plus 20 from being near another housing district. So this is basically free. This is paying for itself in terms of heat. So that is absolutely enormous. Then if we look at this one here, which is the adjacent district, again, we're down to 0 here, because again, we've got plus 20 of being near, and we've got plus 20 heat demand of being near. But so we're not on the geothermal here, but we're still kind of equalizing out. Now, so that's good. But to get the adjacency bonus, you need to have at least 3 hexes touching one or another. So if we come over here, now I built my industrial district here to get the adjacency from the kind of core of the city. But as you can see, we are getting 20 heat demand and 50 materials demand, and we're getting no area effects. And this is because, if I have a look here and we expand this, I've only got 2 hexes actually touching the core. So to get the actual heat bonus, I need to have 1 more hex close to it, and if I click that, you can see they then go grey. So that means I've met the requirement of adjacency. So just something to be aware of, obviously, when you're setting up your own cities and stuff, is to make sure you've got at least 3 of the tiles against the other settlement. Otherwise, you don't get that adjacency bonus. Now, whether we actually want to, we probably do want to expand our industrial area straight away, because I would like to resolve the goods issue entirely. Now, once you've got 3, however, you don't have to do any more, but I think just for it just kind of makes sense to do this. I don't necessarily, that would give us, I guess this needs to be frost broken. Now we can expand this twice, but this could also then give us an adjacency out to this district. So I'm actually kind of thinking, let's do that. And then when we expand this for a 3rd time, we can expand here and here, and we can expand and we can create an adjacency here. So let's get that building. Next thing I want to do, as I've said, without fail, before we unpause, is get this logistics district spun up. So important to us in terms of what we want to achieve. Do we need to be unpaused? Probably. Play. Okay, so logistics district. Why can't we select it? Hello? Something's going wrong? Okay, interesting. Is this not... Oh, is it not connected? It's not connected. Oh my god, it's not connected. It is connected. Oh, we're an idiot. We're actually an idiot. Have we just broken the game? We didn't frost break the 1 tile that's actually on the logistics, the way station. That's a problem. Okay, so the theme here of correcting mistakes continues. So We just need to get our adjacency right, and we need to also, now we've packed up this district here, we can also start to think about, so we can't expand this high-rise housing district anymore, right, we cannot, but we can immediately build another one. Now, I wouldn't mind actually frost breaking a lot of this, so we're actually going to get a team out to do this. Because again, I can get adjacency here and start. I want to build to all my housing towards the core now, so that I can eventually connect up with it, basically. But what we'll see in a second is now the heat demand for this area is now dropped to 0. So that's really helpful because we're now getting the area effect of being near the generator. So, and we're going to try and then build out to this eventually. We can expand this district as well. So again, we're going to try and build up our adjacency here. Have we finished over here? Right. Thought the game was broken, but it's my brain that's broken. So this is our logistics district, and as you can see here, it has to be 6 tiles. So this is why we've had to expand a little bit. We could also as well potentially get adjacency up here as well from our extraction unit, but this is really key to get up and running. Now we are free to do another law. Is there anything we can? And we're also free for research too. So we should probably starting to have a look at that too. So is there anything we can kind of do? So we've got rules around outsiders, community service, we've already got expedition support pass, we've got supported quarantine. Now basic necessities is a good one. So there's a couple of options we've got here. We can actually increase our economic output as well by doing this. So based on availability, the city will ensure that all citizens are provided what they need to survive for free, including basic rations and clothing. So the labourers support this, and trust will rise, which is good. However, you can go to paid essentials. So to foster the responsibility and reward work, citizens will be charged a small fee in exchange for essentials such as basic rations and clothing. So production efficiency slightly increased and heat stamps slightly increased, supported by the merchants. So we could do that to give us a little economy boost, or we can do the nice thing and give everybody free essentials. We've done family apprenticeship. We don't have any common rules around funerals. This is another one that actually can cause things to spiral quite quickly. So I'm thinking, do we have a look at funerals first? So harvesting funerals, again, nobody's against this. The deceased will be harvested and their healthy body parts used to support city healthcare. Okay, so this is obviously going to increase research speed and decrease disease, or you can go for a more ceremonial funeral, but you lose trust loss resulting from deaths is decreased. So it's kind of like trust versus I think disease is the real issue. So I wouldn't mind to go for harvesting here. I think we proposed this law, and I think as well this could go through, but let's just have a look. Everybody's open to negotiate here. I've done a lot of supporting the foragers already. They've got quite a lot of stuff that they want to do. I think if we get the labourers on side here, get them to vote for this, it will obviously pass it. And they want us to accept all outsiders, but I don't really want to go back on that. Subsidised housing block. Residential tower providing functional shelter with basic amenities to workers and their families, supported by the city. Okay. So increase heat demand, but it does give you 20 shelter from one housing block, which is pretty good. Has a -1 from subsidised housing block. Or everyone must share the burden of maintaining the city's machinery and infrastructure. I mean, I will hold a vote on that, because that's another one we could actually do, reducing materials demand. So basically, if we say to the labourers, you vote for this, lads, I'll give you that. I'll get that through. And let's put that to vote. We should get this comfortably through now.
The eyes have it.
Lovely. Right, so we have passed that. Now we need to research all do maintenance. So it's a research thing. Okay, I thought it was a law. Interesting. So in city, maintenance duty. All do maintenance. Unproductive maintenance. We don't want to do anything unproductive. So this is what we want to do here. Everyone must do their share of burden in maintaining the city's machinery and infrastructure. Material demand decreasing would actually be really good anyway. So I think we crack on and get that done. Okay, cool. Right, we're cooking. We are cooking quite literally.
The delegates have reached a decision.
I wouldn't mind actually having a look at that housing block, you know. We have got the untreated sawmill. but we did that more as a bargaining tool rather than anything else. I would like to get another housing district spun up now that I have kind of done this. And again, if we were to go here, spin the camera a little bit so we can get in here. That is going to give us... we can be near... Okay, I see. So we can actually put this near 2 housing districts if we were to actually mine this out. So I'm actually going to frost break another few spaces here, because then I could actually get adjacency from both. That would actually be pretty huge. So let's just get the frost breaking team out and do that first. Again, this is where adjacency becomes really important, because essentially your kind of structures and stuff are free. And actually we're only minus 20 heat demand now, so that's good. Right, we've got a bit more time on logistics. That's under construction, so let's just give the time a little boost and wait for the next problem to arise, which I'd imagine will be fairly soon. But we're actually getting... The only thing that's concerning me is we're still depleting our food stockpile quite dramatically. So we're going to need to do some research around food output. Same with materials, and goods is now really low. Okay. Okay, now this is where the game gets cool. Alright, here we go. Logistics is done. Steward, we're struggling with heat stamps. A group of merchants have come forward with an idea of how to solve it. We should pass service exemptions. Let us pursue it and the city will benefit. The merchants look with a distrust to what other communities propose. They would surely appreciate you getting behind their idea. So, basically, this is a way of pass service exemptions, marginally improve with the merchants. What do service exemptions do, though? Everyone must volunteer their time outside of work as needed unless they purchase an exemption from the city. Wow, that's pretty... that's pretty dark. But these guys are all about trade and industry, aren't they? And the labourers are a bit more kind of union-y kind of focused about workers, so we're going to piss them off by doing it. But it would, if it give us more heat stamps, I will investigate this. I think we'll have a look. Right, now, logistics district. This basically now, we have this little icon up here in the top right. So we can now start to explore the Frostland, as we now have 15 Frostland teams available to us. So what we need to have a look at is all of these zones around us and think about what we're going to explore. So we've got the valley here. So open territory, threat level safe. So you can send out into dangerous areas, but you will lose Frostland teams if you do that. So we could find food or cores here, and that'll take 14 weeks for us to charter. Plains, again, open territory. We could find coal or oil. Okay, so I think this is probably where we're going to go, given that this is also safe. 14 weeks. And let's just check the other one. Broken Mountain. So this is threat level deadly. Many scouts will die. I think we go plains then. If we could find oil, that would actually be enormous. So let's launch an expedition out here. So the boys are going to go out and do their thing now while we head back to the city. Okay, past service exemptions. We've got 59 weeks and research all do maintenance. That's good. So I think the issue, food. Food is a problem.
Terminal patients are
Can we
encouraged to
actually
maintain
expand
a
this
healthy
anymore?
diet.
No, we cannot.
Chances of a
Now we could, I think we did
successful
also discuss
transplant depend on it.
building a housing unit out here to get adjacency, and also geothermal. So if we were to build a housing district here, for example, I haven't got enough space. Do I have enough space? I do have enough space. Okay, so that's going to give us adjacency for this food. This is going to take away some of the heat demand on the food industry, but we need to up our food industry. I don't think we've got any more. Have we got any more food like on the map in terms of things we can actually extract? No, we do not. That is an issue. So we're going to need to start really generating a food source from somewhere else. Emergency council session. Steward, you have been generous in handing out promises to numerous groups. It imperative you see those promises fulfilled in time, or risk people losing trust in your word. Consider calling an emergency council session to try and push some matters through. Okay, so we can hold an emergency session if required. So even though council is currently in recess, we can call them back to order if we want. But at the moment, I think we're in reasonable control. So I think we're okay. We're 17% on this. We need to pass service exemptions next, and we're researching all doing maintenance. So we're getting there. Now, goods production is... we're not on goods. Why is that not on goods? Okay, we kept our word. The labourers are delighted. So this should be on goods, not on prefabs. Okay. And now we're only -6. So I think if we were to expand... Oh, we can't expand this zone again. Interesting. Okay. I could expand this extraction zone into this one though, but I would need to, so then I've got one. I could then expand this way and actually get the heat adjacency, but I'm going to need to frost break quite a bit of space. So let's frost break all that. Okay, we're cooking, boys. We are cooking. Right, service exemptions. We can vote in a week on that. Might struggle to get that through. I just got a feeling there'll be some resistance to that. Some fairly significant resistance. Right. Now we should be good for shelters. So as soon as this housing district goes up, all do maintenance placed on the council agenda by the labourers. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to let this housing district finish, and then we'll see where we land here from shelter, because this will be huge if we can finally resolve this problem. Okay, we actually have a surplus of housing now. Welcome to the big leagues. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because we'll probably want to expand this housing district at least twice. So I'm actually going to just basically frost break out another batch of land so that we're available. And now again, if we come in here, you will see we are now getting area effects. Now this still has a 20, because it has a base of a 40 heat demand, so it's only reducing it by 20. But it's okay. Now we need to also research some buildings and food, man, because we're gonna die. So resources, hothouses, filtration towers. Right, this is a food tree. So what options have we got? Bio waste hothouse increases food output by 70. Industrial sized hothouse where organic waste ferments in large vats, fertilizing revolving shelves of crops. Unlocks the excessive fertilization district ability, which increases food output and disease. So there's a bit of a negative to that. Or drum hothouses is the other option. A variety of crops are grown in synergy to optimize space. So that's less food output. Increased heat demand of 40. This is so again, you've taken the dirty option of using bio waste into your food. Their foragers are favourable towards this. Merchants are actually neutral. Labourers are favourable towards the drum hothouse. So I think we need to get something going to increase. There's also a 400 workforce demand on that, and there's only it's the same. So really, you're swapping 10 food output with disease and 20 heat, or you're getting 60 with 40. I'd like to do the clean method if possible. So let's get research in this, and we can start expanding our food production. Because yeah, our stockpile is now not that far off depleted, so we need to do something. And the same with materials. So we don't have a huge surplus of material. I could probably actually do with another industrial zone to extract materials, as well as expand, or we can expand this one, but I don't currently have the credits. I'd like to expand this one potentially into here to get the heat bonus, heat adjacency first. I think that's the most sensible thing to do, because we're nearly there with goods. We are nearly there. 55% on exploring the Frostland as well, which is decent. Right, okay, let's have a look here. So, mate, so this is now on the table. 26 against, 43 for, which this should go through on its own. Who's against it though? The merchants are against it, and one of the foragers. I think, but we've got 43 for, so we don't need 10 people to. I think that will probably. I think this should go through. I think we'll just vote this one out and we'll see what happens. We've got 43 yeses, so it only needs a handful more to get over the line.
Hear ye, hear
Okay,
ye.
comfortable. All due maintenance is passed.
Have it.
Merchants will be a bit pissed. So as you can see now, labourers and foragers are actually happy with me. They're in this grey bar, but merchants are. We're sort of favouring their ideal here because of equality. Where is equality? Okay.
A law has
The
passed
temperature
in the council.
has now dropped, so we are fucking fucked. Okay, we need to do some stuff with heat ASAP. This is a problem, and it's all basically just because our generator it doesn't have the juice. Now we could turn on, as I've said before, overdrive, but overdrive does sort of do it. How much coal have we actually got left? Like, genuinely, how much coal have we got left? I need to get this deep coal vein mining happening as well. So that's the next thing. We need to get that online. kind of ASAP, and I don't think I can expand this district anymore. No, I can't. So, problems. Right, let's expand this. That's going to give us the heat adjacency bonus. Of being near to one another here. That's going to help a little bit with the minus kind of demand on heat. Not a huge amount, but it will at least just take the sort of edge off. Okay, logistics. Again, it would be useful if I could get this to get that adjacency bonus. So we'll have a look at that. A new voice. Oh, here we go. The Menders. We have a new community joining the team. I doubted common people could help scouts in their valiant efforts, yet here we found a way to be of use. I doubted the solidarity of humanity, yet this city gives more to the feeble, thus they can be healthy again. This made me realise what this city can become. The times of mere survival are gone. We must organise. A bright tomorrow is within our reach. So the Menders are formed in support of expedition support and supported quarantine. So our decisions that we've made have kind of caused a new faction to come out of the woodwork, which are the Menders. And they represent 8% of the city. So 600 labourers and foragers have organised in a faction. So it's a combination of labourers and foragers. Rugged explorers view the Frostland as their new home, and their faction members as a family unit held together by tradition. They dislike harvesting funerals and allowing productive outsiders. So there's a few laws that they don't agree with, which is interesting. They want durable goods. They want to accept all outsiders, and they want to kind of reverse some of my decisions. Okay. Okay, so because we've got exploration support, that is a good thing for them, but that's basically the only thing they're happy with. So now we've got another faction, the Menders, 8%. So what's that done to the balance? It has shifted. Actually, now the merchants are now the highest population within the city. So that's a fairly significant consideration. It's done nothing to housing, which is okay. So we need to pass service exemptions. This is going to get slightly more difficult to pass laws now, though, because we've got 4 sort of factions at play. We also we're in recess at the moment. There's no need to call an emergency. We're going to let this go through here. So we are almost going to have our first area explored. Heat scarcity is the biggest problem. So we're going to need to go into generator upgrades probably next if we can, or increase the amount of fuel we've got coming in.
The scrap.
Looks at Menders members. That's difficult to say. Leaving the institute. They keep looking at my hands. Every day they come and pester me about my work. What are you doing right now? Can we push the other research along? Why are you halting the drafting of the new law we discussed yesterday? They want influence into what we do. Menders want to steer the city close to their ideals. So I think this is going to start getting messy now, kind of ideologically. But that's okay. We are prepared. Now, are we getting the heat bonuses, area of effects now? Yes, we are. So we've reduced total demand to heat here to 10. And if we increase materials output, we've got 131. We haven't got a huge amount of time left on resources. I'm also conscious that we're not extracting any prefabs out here too. So I am thinking an extraction district is probably the play. Because again, we need to make use of these sort of... because these stockpiles, as we've seen with this one here, will run dry. We have officially found a source of oil. Let's go. It's located in tall vasts. We can now access and research all oil-related buildings and use them for the benefit of the city. That is enormous. Right, here we go. Okay, so we have explored out here, and we've now got this many things to follow up on. Oily husk. The husk of a machine remains in the snow, already picked clean of useful parts. Our scouts noted frozen oil around what remains of the fuel tank. A set of coordinates were carved roughly on the broken boiler plate. I think we definitely want to do that. Let's just see what else we've got. Tar pits. Oil has naturally risen to the surface. Okay, an outpost here could increase our supply by 100 units of oil until its deposit of 168,000 oil is depleted. So we need to build a trail or a skyway to basically get access to this resource. We've also found an old igloo, completely empty. It seems to have some kind of feast by the look of it. It could be decades old. Okay, don't need to do anything with that. What's this one here? Successful hunters. Our scouts have passed through a group of jolly-faced hunters. They later describe as having plenty of meat on their bones. They're chunky boys. In exchange for a spare heat lamp, the hunters revealed some details about their hunting grounds. A field full of lichen and moss where huge herds graze. Okay, so we could actually also as well increase our food, which is another thing we wanted to do. A crashed wagon. Sell its cargo materials. Okay, so there's a wagon we could potentially pick some stuff up from, or a possible settlement with a coal mining complex. Still remain from when a community of hundreds supported these interconnected shafts along a deep coal vein. An outpost here can increase our supply by 400 coal until its deposit of 200 is depleted. So, decision, do we look to, we can increase our coal, I think we might increase our coal output first because we're going to have to research technology for oil. I think we maybe do this first. So what you need to do is connect a trail now back to the city. But obviously you've got a certain terrain that we cannot cross. So, for example, I can't just click here. We need to actually plan a route. So we could go to this pin. How am I actually going to get back? How did we actually get out of the city? Like, or is there a way this way that we could actually get in? No, we're in a there is a, surely that's a way in there, because that's where my way station is. So that's where the team would have gone out, but there is another way station here, so why can we not get back in that way? Probably because I haven't got a way station to connect to. So if I was to build, so I'm gonna have to go literally the long bloody way around. This is going to take weeks to build, by the way. How do I even reconnect? I can't even get back. There's got to be a way to get back, like literally. Oh, is it just we're running out of gold? Is that why? We're just running out of... Oh, boy. The thing is because we just don't have the resources right now to do this. Okay, so what we'll do instead, until we've got some... Let's go and explore that. Do they actually explore, or does it just mark our map? We've got the coordinates. Let's note the bearing of all of these, I think. So did we now need to then choose to go on and send an expedition out to actually look at these? Connect trails. Or we're going to be better off connecting to this one. Just because it's closer. I'm just thinking. Okay. Can't we connect? Yeah, I think it's costs. So right, do you know what? First of all, connect up to that. Connect those two together, and we'll come back and we'll sort it in a minute. Right, this is getting complicated now. Right, so we're building a trail out there to connect those two things together. Right, the drum hothouse is being proposed. Okay, so we could actually have a look at that. Because I am interested in this in terms of upping our food output anyway. So let's build this drum hothouse in here. We've only got 4 heat stamps now, and heat is still a big issue. So actually connecting up with the additional coal is going to be kind of massive. We also need to pass service exemptions as well. And we're building a new extraction district. So we spent a lot of money actually in the last kind of sort of 5-10 minutes of the game, so we need to just kind of chill, and we also could do with researching. So I want to just check on heating. So generator upgrade, we don't have enough stamps at the moment. Versatile pumps energy to intake oil and steam in addition to coal, so this would be good if we can get the oil online. It's going to cost us 1 core and 200 heat stamps and prefabs, so there's a lot. So this is, so basically once we've done the research, we're gonna have to actually obviously build this, which is gonna this is what it would cost us essentially when we get there. And the foragers agree with this as well. Is there any other heating solutions from a research perspective? Generator upgrade, heat dispatcher, what's this? Constructed in these districts, food extraction, industrial logistics and housing. Heat dispatch control centers where engineering teams monitor and optimize a district's heating, boosting the generator's output. Okay. Construction cost is just heat stamps and prefabs, so it's not the end of the world. Are there any other solutions? No. they all agree with this idea. So we should probably look at getting heat dispatcher maybe next, because the cost of that generator upgrade is like large. Okay, so we need to keep an eye on what this does when this is built to our food capacity in a second, because we are still chipping. We've got 50 weeks of food left before we start to starve to death. And that's a problem. Have we finished building this trail now? Have we done the trail? Have we done it? I guess so. Yeah, we have. So we now have a trail construction. I think it's purely monetary in that I just don't have the money. I think it is just literally that I don't have the money. So we have a trail set up between these two. I can set one up there as well. I guess this is obviously going to potentially connect us to different resources, or we can go out and launch other expeditions here. So we have 10 frost teams here required. This would bring us coal, food. I'm thinking I should probably connect up some of this stuff before. Actually, it looks like we're trying to... We are researching something. I don't really know what we're doing. I'm learning. Right, what we've got going on. It was only a matter of time. We had an unusually long streak of mild weather, but now meteorologists are clear. There's a familiar drop in air pressure at higher altitudes. A whiteout, oh my god. A whiteout arrives in 80 weeks. A heat demand will greatly increase during the whiteout. Right, where's the whiteout? 80 weeks. It's not currently on the list at the moment, so it's out here somewhere. We are going to get a little dose of warmer weather first. We are now minus 205 heat demand. Okay, right, we're now positively refilling our stockpile again. So food surplus is good. So materials, we also need to think about. We are getting rid of prefabs here, so that's good. I'm thinking of... So where are the other materials on the map? So we've got other materials here, and we have another logistics way station here that we could set up to get more frost teams. I'm thinking we could actually, if we frost 77 froze to death, that's bad. If we do actually frost, I can't frost break. Why can't I frost break? 21 work, I haven't got enough workers anymore. Oh, those 70 people that died could have been in my frost breaking team. Oh no, boys, it's starting to unravel. It's only episode 2. Okay, right, think. So we need a way to try and bring some population into the city as well, which we can find externally. I've got 100 100 beans now, so can I connect to that? I think actually what we can do is if we get the trail going to somewhere here, and let's just... I need to connect to that, and I just cannot. Okay, it's going to cost me 104 weeks, but it will work. Okay, that's huge. Okay, potentially good, because that's going to bring in a lot more coal that we can start merging into the city. Goods demand is okay. It's just cold. Heat scarcity is my problem. We're gonna have to get the overdrive on. Now this can destabilize the generator, so we have to watch this very, very carefully now. And we cannot leave. We also cannot leave it on permanently. It's not possible. Frightened by the growing presence of Menders. Brilliant. The city is changing. We started a family here. We bore children. We toiled against the hardships like everyone else. But now these Menders, they walk around telling people what to do, what to think. What they spout is utter folly against everything that made us. We will not have it. The fate of our children's at stake. We will chart the path of our city. Venturers have formed in opposition to the Menders. Oh my god. Oh, it's going really bad. 800 merchants have organised into a faction. Meticulous individualists, these enterprising opportunities recruit from those drawn to a good deal, be it social or technological. They dislike family apprenticeships, supported quarantine, and all do maintenance. Okay. And these guys, what does this mean? What does this red thing mean? They're ready to fight, I guess. I think we need to pass a law now. Right. Right, what have we promised? Okay. Service exemptions. This is a new law here. Oh my god, people are very divided. This is supported by merchants and venturers, though. Everyone must volunteer their team outside of work as needed, unless they purchase an exemption. So this is this heat stamps thing. Now I'm gonna have to flip some votes here. What's heat pipe watch? Everyone must expect the heat pipes in their places of residence, supporting and fixing minor heat leakages around the city. Okay, maybe we go for this. 29 against. Supported by the labourers. I don't even think I'd be able to get this through. This is to increase our heat stamps, but there's still 29 against this. There's 29 against that, but there's just less people for. Heat demand decreasing. I'm going to have to try it and get this through. So they won't, the merchants won't negotiate. They just won't. The foragers have 17. Would that pass? That would pass me. So let's and the venturers won't negotiate. Okay, so foragers, if you vote for this, we could construct the sawmill for them. We literally, because we need to increase this anyway. It's going to increase disease and a bit of heat demand, but I'll build that for you lads if you do it. I still don't think that gets through though. That is close. But we can try. It's getting very complicated now with this amount of factions in the mix. Please pass. Yes.
The eyes have it.
But I have just pissed off the venturers. Oh, population growth. Did we get a population spurt there? Okay. Good. Okay, we're actually good now for heat. That is that heat pipe thing has literally changed the game. Oh my god. Why is it saying that my coal is 0? We are still producing, right? Yeah, 150 output. So that heating pipe thing has really changed the game. Growing radicalization. Steward. The growing fervor of certain groups in our city has become a cause for alarm. Agitators rile up tensions and push their factions more radical and violent action. Provided we build enough prison space, our guards could place such militants in preventative arrest. Okay, so round up middle. Oh my god. Oh, we're gonna have to build a prison. Okay, that's cool. We can build a prison. Building a prison is fine because these guys are going to be a big problem. And tension is being increased by faction fervor. So the amount of kind of, I need to pass service exemptions. And I need to build an untreated sawmill. Right, let's have a look at the sawmill. I need more workforce for one. That's an issue. And I need 80. I need more workforce. Have we finished connecting up here? Okay, I think we have. So what we can do now. Okay, so this is right. Okay, so this is what's actually happened. This is why the heat demand has gone away. I thought it was the law. It's not. We are now outputting oil from these tar pits to the city, basically. So I need to, but this is costing me 10 Frostland teams to do this. So I've only got 5 left. So what I'm going to need to do is get that other output station. This needs to be set up now, so I can get more Frostland teams. So we need to start frost breaking this way urgently. It's heating up, not literally, but yes, you can now see we've got 100 oil coming in, which is giving our generator. I don't think we need overdrive. Oh, we do need overdrive. We need overdrive to meet demand. I'm going to turn it off for a bit because it's going to get colder in a second, and the whiteout. There's the whiteout. There she is. Okay, that might be the end of the game, by the way, that whiteout. So I'm actually going to just turn, because I don't want that generator boost like burning up too quickly, if that makes sense, because I'm going to need it again in a minute. When we drop to minus 40, this is going to go seriously through the roof. Now, we are almost out of supplies. Shit. Which is going to create us a goods problem, so I need to do that as well. We're going to need to... I'm going to need to just... We need to get more goods coming in. Okay, so we're currently extracting oil, which is huge, and we need to get this logistics online. Have I got enough people for another frost breaking team? No, I reckon it's, yeah, I haven't got enough workers at the moment. I haven't got enough population. So when do we get another population boost? Quite soon. Okay, 88%, decent. Okay, all right. Now what we could also do, because we're good for prefabs. Now what we could do is drop prefabs down a bit. which means I'm going to get some workforce back. So we'll put this at 60%. So you get this here. So efficiency is decreased, but it might mean I can get another frost breaking team out, which it does mean I can get another frost breaking team out. So that's actually massive. Make sure we actually frost break the way station itself. And let's frost break that. So we need more materials. I might also need to think about, now I've got an oil coming in. Oh, I don't know why this is saying 0, or is it just because the generator is being solely powered by oil at the moment? Other thing we haven't built and we really need to build are stockpile hubs. So we've got goods, food, materials and fuel. If we build these stockpile, it gives us a big capacity, and workforce demand in neighbouring extraction districts is decreased. So we can actually, we only need 10 more. I think a fuel stockpile hub would actually be huge. We only need 80 heat stamps. So I think we build this next. And proximity, so workforce demand in a neighbouring extraction district is decreased. So as long as I put this near an extraction district, it will decrease the workforce requirement here, which is pretty massive. Now obviously what you'd want to do is like put it between 2, so like have, so to get the maximum bonus from it, you could put it between 2. Now this is going to end up dropping down anyway. Could I actually put it like, I'm going to put it here, or here, or here. So it's going to give me 10% workforce requirement in this zone. And realistically, coal is always going to need to be at 100%. We're always going to need to be just banging it out. But efficiency-wise, I could actually get it here twice. So you get a 10 workforce requirement for this and this. But I could put a different hub here. I should have a materials hub here for these two. That's what I should have there. And a fuel one over here. Do we do the materials one first then? Because materials are an issue right now. And I know I need to expand anyway. Right, build that. Build the materials hub there. That's going to give me some extra population back.
The venturers have marked down their self-improvement brochures and kits. Limited time only.
These guys are wankers, honestly, like just straight up wankers. Right, we've got council in recess, so we can get another thing. Now, I need to build this sawmill as well. Cannot forget that. I need to pass service exemptions for the foragers, so we're going to have to try and get that through. We're going to have to try and get service exemptions through as well. Okay, now this might go through on its own, because it's supported by 2 factions. We've got 36, we've got 42 for this. I think this will go through without having to negotiate, realistically. And anyway, nobody will negotiate. The labourers would negotiate. Let's just see what they would want if they voted for this. They want free essentials. They want the subsidised housing block. Now, we were going to do the subsidised housing block anyway. I think, look, vote for this, lads, and I'll do that. Let's get this through to just make sure we don't get any more tension rising at the moment on service exemptions. Let's get this through. Passes comfortably, but we've made another promise.
The eyes have it.
And as I said, there is a limit on how many promises you can actually kind of give. And I'm at 2. I think 3 is the max. So the merchants are a bit happier. Labourers are happier. Okay, we're building this materials stockpile hub here. But I do need to also kind of think about...
Attention, citizens. A new law is in effect.
Now have we got more materials here that I haven't tapped into? We have. So I've got materials here. So we could get a bit of a zone expansion going here. Right, we've got another load of people. That's pretty big. Okay, we've got another 1,000 people. The population grows. Steward, a new count has revealed a significant growth in our population in recent weeks. Some attribute the rise to an influx of settlers from the Frostland, others to births outnumbering deaths. Whatever the cause, we have adjusted our calculations in the city's needs. Oh god. Yeah. So we now need housing again. Okay. Ouch, my finger. These fucking spindles. Mr. Boss Lady keeps joking I'll fall asleep and get woken up by a prince. I don't get it. If a prince came near me, I'd rob him blind, then make him do the bloody spinning. but it's a right. Got to beat my record today. Nice strong yarn. Auntie Mabel says if I can weave, I can work with her at the mill. Beats freezing in the streets. Okay, so family apprenticeship is promising a better future for the children, so that's good. That's a positive thing. Right, now what we might need to do then, our housing district out here, we expand, which might take the edge off this. We're going to expand this housing district. We have to, because we've got another 1,000 people to sort of look after. Now we've got 37 weeks to build this, and subsidised housing block is what we need to research. So where is that? City housing blocks. We haven't got enough stamps. I need 50. Okay, so that's not going to take me a huge amount of time to do. And the labourers agree with this. The Menders agree with this. Everybody agree. Okay, that would be cool. If everybody could agree on something, that'd be fantastic. So I need 50 heat stamps though to do that. So we need to kind of let things carry on. Now we could be potentially doing some more out here. Now we could also be setting a trail out to here. So from here to here, but I haven't got. I need 10 of the frost teams, and I'm okay. So we need to get that logistics set up. So out here, we need to get this second way station set up, so I can start doing multiple things basically. We are almost at -40, and we are having cold issues. Now, will this resolve the housing problem on its own? I'm not sure it will. Realistically, I think we need to expand again. Didn't. Okay, I thought it did.
A cold spell will soon hit us.
-374.
Prepare accordingly.
Generator, you're going to have to go overdrive here, boys. I mean, I'm only scratching the surface with that as well. This is going to be cold for a while until we get a warmer season, and then we've got a double cold. Oh my god, and then a whiteout. Okay, so we need to expand this housing district again. Need to expand that again. That's got to be the priority, unfortunately. It's got to be the priority. And then second way station, because if I could get that food kind of online, that would be useful. But bearing in mind, this generator overdrive mode, as I said, does not last forever. Far from it. We cannot just constantly churn it out. I'm starting to think now, like, obviously for a subsequent playthrough, have we done this as efficiently as we could? I think we've obviously come out quite wide because of the geothermals, which makes sense because it's +20 heat for free, but then we're not connected to the spire, so I wonder if there is a sort of a, you know, positive and a negative to that. Also as well, we could decrease heat requirements here by expanding this out. We need 50. Could I get to 3 touching? Probably not. The way to, obviously, if we expand this district as well, we would get more output from Frostland teams, so that might be a cheaper alternative than building a whole new section. But I did want to research that housing block as well. So when we get to 50, let's just speed the game up a little bit because we're going to come to the end of this episode soon. Right, let's research that housing block. So city housing block, let's get that cooking. Let's research this idea. Everybody's in favour of that, and we need to have done it to keep the labourers cushy. And I think actually this might be a neat little spot to draw a close to episode 2. So, recap. It's very, very cold. We're doing okay. We've managed to solve some of the housing, which is good. Food production we have resolved. We have a small surplus despite the population growth, which is huge. This is a problem. Our stockpile of materials is nearly dead, so we need that. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to produce goods to keep this, and then we'll just have a huge problem. And we need to get this second way station set up ASAP to enable us to kind of connect up some more bits. If we could connect this coal up as well, that would be pretty large. If we could actually connect these two up, we'd start getting coal coming back into the city as well, which would help. So I think that's another goal for us there. But I'm going to need the other way station set up first. Otherwise, I don't think it's actually possible. And that's it, episode 2. We've said hello to 2 new factions. The Menders, who seem all right, generally. The Venturers, who don't seem all right. They're going to try and kick off, you know, in terms of fairly soon. And actually, our 2 biggest populations have been actually quite... Labourers now make up the majority of 36%. Interesting. So we're a much more diverse community than we were before, but not necessarily for the better. So yeah, thank you for watching. This is the end of episode 2, and I'll catch you at the start of episode 3.